issue of election for solution, convener of Concerned People Nagaland, Kahuto Chishisumi says that election and solution are two mutually exclusive things and should not be interconnected. Chishi says that Naga political solution needs a transparency and all stakeholders must clear what they want. Auto drivers of Dimapur Fort Mile area expressed resentment over the increase of public buses, alleging that it is affecting the business. Speaking to Nltv, auto drivers further demand state government to seize the buses plying without government permit. In a major boost for Naga People's Front ahead of next year's state assembly elections, around 40 NDPP and Congress workers from Ketsapo village joins the regional party. Newly inducted members show their support and faith on NTF leadership and vow to strengthen party. In a major step to bolster tourism and connectivity in Arunachal Pradesh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate Donyo Polo Airport in Itanagar on November 19. PM to also dedicate 600 MW Kameng Hydro Power Station to the nation during his Arunachal visit. In a major landmark for India's space sector, Vikram S, a country's first privately developed rocket launched from ISRO spaceport on Friday. A rocket developed by Skyroad Aerospace named after father of India's space sector, Vikram Sarabhai. Hello viewers, I Lomika Chumi welcome you all to English Primetime. We will now proceed and look into the news in detail. With the state inching towards the assembly elections, convener of Concerned People Nagaland, Kahuto Chishisumi said that the term election and solution are two exclusive things and should not be interconnected. While talking to Nltv, Chishi said that matter of Naga political solution needs transparency and all stakeholders must clear what they want. In a very sharp way, he further said that when it comes to politics, Nagaland politicians have no ideology or belief. Rather, they use politics as a tool to grab power. On the defection of members of parties from one to another is a matter of convenience, not defection. More political party, one should look up for the right candidate as political party is valueless in the state. He also said that when it comes to development works like road repairing, etc., ahead of the elections, these are political gimmicks and such politicians wake up only during election time after sleeping for 5 years.
Election Kuranimiti solution block resniki. Na nule solution aile election na thagibo. Solution to moala to itu ki dictatorship aibul resniki. So itu to duita to mutually exclusive na. Why solution na itu kile na hai na? Because viable solution kun public lagi rakiso. What exactly do you want from India? Huh? Mo not be kobina. Milai no kuribodo. Hole be say main to IM or ke baje 7NBG. To tahan ki kotha kurese public to na jane. There's no transparency. No transparency na. To idoni India be ini wow. Ki digine ki na dibo. Na hole be Nagaland stands for nothing. Kali power grab kure bolela, it becomes just a tool not to grab power, political party de. To principles nai, belief nai. No, ini itu do takan imiji itu do. It's not a question of thing defection. It's a question of convenience na. Naga manu do waya kile iman excited ho jayo, iman sanction kuri je. Kete bhi moange na punje, ke iman ite do 5,000 crore rasta nimit nuregi ne do Prime Minister Kisan la na, itu recent as do, poisa dia tu itu kun kan prize itu diwala ye elected members kan government form government bra ki ti priority diwala ye na khali rasta in hoy kina to 5 साल की kuri thai kini te suddenly na kuri ase tu sob monor jane tu election aha ni mi talking point nai do tagan na to public ra moni to rasta bhi banai se at least itu ko bole to public bra bujhe bole laga do Abraham Lincoln pola tai kotha kwa na you can fool some of the people all of the time you can fool all the people some of the time but you cannot fool all the people all the time election.
In a major boost for Naga People's Front ahead of the State Assembly elections scheduled next year, around 40 NDPP and NPCC office bearers and party workers from Ketsapo village joined the party recently. Nearly 24 households along with several workers and office bearers of village have shifted their loyalty from the NDPP to NPF, while 12 households of the same village decided to join the regional party, breaking ties with Congress. Outgoing members from both the parties decided to tender their resignation from both active and primary membership of the respective parties. Further, they have decided to support and strengthen leadership of MLA leader of Legislature Party, Kuzuluzo Azonino, and President Dr. Shurhozile Lezacho. The rise in number of public buses has hit hard the lives of auto drivers in Dimapur. As a result, the auto drivers are facing a difficult time to earn sufficient money to run their family. The auto drivers of Dimapur Fort Mile on Friday expressed resentment over the issue in front of Nltv. They cited that increase of buses have taken an adverse effect on the trade and they are unable to find adequate passengers on a daily basis to carry out the business. Advisor of Auto Area Auto Union, Yeheto Jumomi, while talking to Nltv, stated that the auto drivers are the only bread earners in the family and thus he appealed to the concerned authority to look into the matter. He further demanded the state government to seize the buses plying without government permit. Meanwhile, he informed that the Auto Drivers Association have already approached the Bus Association for a solution, but they have not taken any action yet. With an aim to provide better road connectivity, the Twengsang Battalion Assam Rifles provided assistance for road maintenance in Mon district for 15 days. The maintenance took place at Ukha, Mopong, Kenjenshi, Chengyu and Ye under Yakshu temporary operating base. It may be noted that the Assam Rifles provided JCB and manpower, whereby, along with the local people, road stretch of over 20 kilometers was repaired. Meanwhile, the road maintenance was followed by a security meet held by the commandant of Twengsang Battalion with all the Gaunburas and various student and NGO heads. The village guard of Sitami area under Kifri district celebrated its golden jubilee with Minister for Soil and Water Conservation and Geology and Mining, V. Kashiho Sanctum, as the special guest at Sitami headquarters on Friday. Speaking at the celebration, Sanctum appreciated the VG personnel for rendering a valuable service to the people at the village level and lauded them for playing a very important role in maintaining law and order in their own respective areas along with the administration. Meanwhile, on the sidelines of the VG's Golden Jubilee celebration, the minister also flagged off a new force ambulance for HPC Sitami, which is given to Geology and Mining Department by ONGC company through corporate social responsibility. During a brief flag off program, the minister expressed his appreciation and gratitude to the ONGC for the initiative undertaken for the people and expressed hope that they will continue to do so even in the future and encourage the citizens to make best use of it. Mon Battalion of Assam Rifles under the aegis of Inspector General of Assam Rifles North Headquarters opened a registration cell at Mon Don Bosco Higher Secondary School to facilitate students in filling up applications for Sainik School entrance exam. The registration cell stall was set up at the school campus to provide information on registration process, facilities provided by Assam Rifles for preparation of written examination and various other scholarship schemes. Around 100 students visited the registration cell and expressed their heartfelt gratitude towards Assam Rifles for conducting the event. The initiative undertaken by Assam Rifles aims to help the students to fulfill their dreams. Department of Horticulture organized a training on post-harvest management of fruit and vegetables on the low-cost preservation unit at Horticulture Office in Kifri on Wednesday. DPO of Department of Land Resources, Lipichim, was the special guest of the session, where he mentioned that the training will help the people to generate economic sustainability. He further said that with unemployment issue all over, this training will surely find space for youth to be self-employed in the long run. After the session, the participants were provided with equipment, material for making pickles, jam and jelly. The Directorate of School Education has informed all concerned that the competent authority would be activating the Common Scholarship Portal for the academic year 2022-23 from November 21 till December 31, 2022. According to a notification, scheduled tribe students of class 9 and 10 can apply via website, and the last date for institutions to submit Annexure 1 of the hard and soft copies to DEO or SDEO office is January 15, 2023. Furthermore, the last date for DEO or SDEO office to submit hard and soft copies of Annexure 1 to the Directorate is January 30, 2023. It is to be mentioned that students who have applied for pre-matric scholarship are not eligible for this scheme. District Health Society Piran launched a Surakshit Matriva Ashwasan scheme on Thursday at District Hospital in Piran. In a press release, Chief Medical Officer Piran stated that gynecologist Dr. Dennis Chingpan emphasized Suman initiatives in a keynote speech and PowerPoint presentation. He discussed about the Suman scheme's free and secure options for providing care and treatment. Medical Superintendent DH Piran Dr. Limatula Au gave the opening remarks and emphasized the value of routine antenatal care, prompt child immunization, and encouragement of institutional birth. The Nagaland government has made the decision to issue all government personnel with a uniform identity card. The state government and the autonomous organization working for or under the government of Nagaland shall accept the ID card as legal identity. In suppression of all standing directives, the government of Nagaland has given permission to the Personal Information Management System Cell, along with Personal and Administrative Reforms Department, to issue photo ID cards to all government workers and pensioners based on the PIMS data. Each employee will be issued a single ID card at a time, and each will be responsible for safely keeping and preserving the cards. Notably, the ID card will be the basis for entry to the Nagaland Civil Secretariat and other state-level offices. Furthermore, in case of loss or theft of the ID card, the employee must submit a copy of FIR along with the application for a fresh card. Fighters of the Combat Academy Nagaland, Avizo Lanamai and Arsanba Ozakam is all set to represent Nagaland at the 10th edition of Matrix Fight Night on Friday in Dubai. The duo had their pro debut in Man 9, and manager of TCAN Victor Angami informed that this would be the second professional fight for both of them. During the competition, Avizo will face against Dushan Singh in the featherweight category, while Arsanba Ozakam would face Manipur's Dinesh Singh in the flyweight category. Participants from across the world, including India, will participate in the competition, where a total of 12 fights will take place. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Arunachal Pradesh to inaugurate Donyo Polo Airport in Itanagar on Saturday. The airport will be inaugurated by Narendra Modi at around 9:30 a.m. The airport's name pays tribute to Arunachal Pradesh's custom, rich cultural legacy and long-standing indigenous veneration of the sun Donyo and the moon Polo. The airport, which is Arunachal Pradesh's first greenfield airport, was built on a site of more than 690 acres at a cost of more than rupees 640 crore. An FIR under non-cognizable offences was registered against Congress leader Rahul Gandhi for mocking the contribution of Indian freedom fighter Veer Savarkar to the independence movement during his Bharat Jodo Yatra. Notably, the complaint was filed by Shiv Sena leader Vandana Dogri with the Thane police station against the Congress scion on Thursday, following his derogatory remarks against the freedom fighter. It may be mentioned that Rahul Gandhi, during a press conference in Maharashtra's Akola on Thursday, had alleged that Savarkar betrayed leaders like M.K. Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Patel by signing a letter of apology to the British before independence. Meanwhile, the Congress leader was booked under Indian Penal Code Section 500, punishment for defamation, and 501, printing or engraving matter known to be defamatory.
राहुल गांधी जी ने 16 नवंबर की इंगोली में हुए सभा में स्वतंत्रवीर सावरकर, जो अपना देश का सम्मानित स्वतंत्रवीर है, उनके बारे में गलत कहा है। उनके देशभक्ति पे, उनके वक्तव्य से उन्होंने संशय लिया है। स्वतंत्रवीर सावरकर जी ने अंग्रेज़ों के पास मुझे माफ़ करो, मुझे मदद करो, मैं आपको मदद करूंगा, इसी तरह के वक्तव्य, झूठे वक्तव्य उन्होंने की है। उसी के वजह से हमारी भावनाओं को ठेस पहुंची है। इसीलिए हम लोगों ने, हमारी शिवसेना की शहर प्रमुख महिला आघाड़ी सौ वंदना सुहास डोंगरे जी ने ठाणे नगर पुलिस स्टेशन में गुना दाखिल किया है।
आरएसएस के चिन्ह को देखिए, सावरकर जी 2-3 साल उनको अंडमान में बंद कर दिया, उन्होंने चिट्ठी लिखनी शुरू कर दी, हमें माफ कर दो।
Addressing the inaugural session of No Money for Terror Ministerial Conference on Friday in the national capital, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called for a uniform, unified and zero-tolerance approach to defeat terrorism. Delegates and multilateral organizations of 78 countries attended the conference. PM Modi stated that India has fought terrorism bravely and will not rest till terrorism is uprooted. The intensity of reaction to different attacks cannot be based on where it happens, as all terrorist attacks deserve equal outrage and action. The Prime Minister remarked that long-term impacts of terrorism is deeply felt by the poor and it also destroys the local economy. PM Modi also added that terrorists and terrorism are two different things. Uprooting terrorism means larger proactive response and all the nations must work together to break terrorist support networks and hit their finances. The conference emphasized on having discussions on the issue of terrorism with the international community and as well as India's efforts to build cooperation among the nation on the fight against terror.
There are indirect arguments made in support of terrorism to block action against terrorists. There is no place for an ambiguous approach while dealing with a global threat. It is an attack on humanity, freedom, and civilization. It knows no boundaries. Only a uniform, unified, and zero-tolerance approach can defeat terrorism.
The week-long celebration for the 400th birth anniversary of Ahom General Lachit Borphukan begins in Assam on Thursday. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma appealed to the people of Assam to light up earthen lamps at their homes on the occasion of Lachit Diwas on November 24. It is to be mentioned that the last leg of celebration will be taken to the Vigyan Bhavan in National Capital from November 23 to 25. Sarma further informed that Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will inaugurate the exhibition on November 23, with Union Home Minister Amit Shah gracing the occasion as chief guest on November 24, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the valedictory function on November 25. It is to be noted that Lachit Borphukan was the commander-in-chief of the Ahom army in the historic Battle of Saraigat, fought against the Mughals' invasion into the land of Assam and thwarted their advance. Lachit Borphukan is revered as one of the greatest military heroes of India. India's first ever privately developed rocket, a Vikram S, was successfully launched on Friday from the Sriharikota spaceport in Andhra Pradesh. Union Minister Jitendra Singh witnessed the historic launch and congratulated the people of India via Twitter, and also mentioned that the launch is the turning point for Indian startups. The Param machine and the Vikram S rocket have been developed by Skyroad Aerospace, a startup based in Hyderabad, with support from ISRO and InSpace. Notably, over 200 engineers developed the rocket within a record time of 2 years. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar on Friday met the Syrian Minister for Foreign Affairs and Expatriates, Dr. Faisal Mekdad, in Delhi. The official spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs, Arindam Bakchi, accorded warm welcome to the minister, who is on a 5-day visit to India in order to boost the bilateral ties between the two nations. Earlier on October 2, Indian diplomat Ausaf Syed met Dr. Faisal and discussed various bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest. In the investigation so far in Delhi 11 murder case, the Delhi police have found that the doctor who treated the Mumbai girl Shraddha for acute shoulder and back pain in the year 2020 said that the accused Aftab accompanied her when she was brought to the hospital. She was admitted to Ozone Multi-Speciality Hospital of Nalasopara area in 2020. Notably, Dr. Shiv Prasad Shinde, who treated Shraddha, stated that Shraddha was brought to the hospital on December 3, 2020 and was admitted for 4 days. However, she did not disclose the cause of the injuries. Meanwhile, Shraddha's friend Rahul Rai revealed that Shraddha frequently complained about Aftab's addiction and Aftab often fight with her and beat her too. Supreme Court on Friday rejected a plea seeking steps for two-child norm to control a population. Despite the continuous rise in birth rates, the apex court rejected the plea, saying it is not an issue where the court should interfere. The court also remarked that population is not something that it stops in one day. Advocate Ashwin Kumar Upadhyay had filed a petition in the top court challenging an order of the Delhi High Court dismissing a plea on two-child norm to control the rising population. The advocate withdrew the petition after the Supreme Court rejected it. The Uttar Pradesh police on Friday apprehended the man accused in the Nidhi Gupta murder case, who allegedly threw the victim off the 4th floor because she refused to convert and marry him. Notably, Sufyan was apprehended post an encounter after he was shot in the leg by a policeman, while Sufyan was on the run for a couple of days since he pushed his alleged girlfriend to her death. Police had announced a bounty of Rs 25,000 on his head. It may also be noted that the victim sustained serious injuries and was taken to the King George's Medical University Trauma Center by her relatives, where doctors declared her dead during treatment. A fire erupted during a birthday celebration in the city of Gaza and killed 21 people, including 7 children on Thursday. Officials informed that the 3-storied residential building was apparently fueled by stored gasoline, and also added that the investigation is currently underway to ascertain how the untoward incident occurred. Palestine President Mahmoud Abbas on Friday declared a day of mourning and sent aid to the families of the victims to ease their suffering. During a United Nations Security Council meeting on Thursday, Counselor in India's permanent mission to UN, R. Madhusudan, remarked that India is deeply concerned over the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan. Sudan stated that in response to the humanitarian needs of Afghan people and urgent appeals made by United Nations, India has dispatched several humanitarian aids to the war-torn country. The councillor also added that as a neighbor and long-standing partner of Afghanistan, India is concerned on ensuring peace and stability to the country. Sudan also briefed that India has been implementing projects and programs to the country for its development prior to take over by the Taliban. India has welcomed the Security Council Resolution 2615, which provided a humanitarian carve-out from the 1988 sanctions regime and also emphasized on emancipation of terrorism from the country.
Thank you, Mr. President. India is deeply concerned at the unfolding humanitarian situation in Afghanistan. In response to the urgent appeals made by the United Nations and in response to the humanitarian needs of the Afghan people, India has dispatched several shipments of humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan, including 40,000 metric tons of wheat, 50 tons of medical aid, and 28 tons of other disaster relief material. India has direct stakes in ensuring the return of peace and stability in Afghanistan, given our own position as a contiguous neighbor and long-standing partner of Afghanistan, as well as our strong historical and civilizational linkages with the Afghan people. It might be noted that prior to the takeover by the Taliban, India had been implementing projects and programs with a commitment of over $3 billion aimed towards development, reconstruction, and capacity building in Afghanistan. Our development partnership encompassed people-centric projects in all the 34.
It seems the BJP have started to campaign slowly for the upcoming assembly elections in state, as BJP national spokesperson and BJP in charge of Nagaland, Nalin Kohli, on Friday addressed a Mandal meeting at Assembly constituency in Pohoboto local ground. On the issue of providing ticket to the probable candidates for the upcoming polls, Kohli did not reply directly, but said that in BJP's system, no individual can offer ticket to an intending candidate. However, the party's central leadership takes the final call. While being asked on the seat-sharing agreement between NDPP and BJP, Kohli replied that it's a matter between the central leadership of both the parties to finalize the deal. Earlier, Kohli, while addressing the meeting, praised state BJP leadership and advocated for the candidature of Dr. Sukato A. Sema, who lost the 2018 elections with a slender margin of 70 votes.
Present here today, respected.
While in my party, in the BJP, no individual can promise the ticket, but I promise you, Dr. Sukarto, along with our state president, Imna Along, our deputy leader and senior leader, Y. Pathan, even I will request the party to consider your seat.
The BJP follows a system where only the Central Election Committee and Parliamentary Board, headed by the Prime Minister, Party President, all of them, can finally announce the ticket. We are in alliance, there is no doubt about it. And when we are in alliance, both the alliance partners are bound to speak at some point to see which seat will go to whom. With regard to individual parties, the NDPP as an individual party will make efforts for all seats. The BJP also would make efforts in many seats. So therefore it is finally to be decided by the central leadership of both parties when they meet.
While
addressing the United Nations Security Council's annual debate on Thursday, United Kingdom Ambassador to the United Nations, Barbara Woodward, called for the expansion of the Council in both permanent and non-permanent categories. United Kingdom also reiterated its support for the creation of new permanent seats in the UNSC for India, Japan, Germany and Brazil, as well as permanent African representation on the Council. Meanwhile, India's permanent representative to the UN, Ruchira Kamboy, spoke on behalf of the G4 countries, including Brazil, Germany, Japan. Kamboy also voiced her regret for the lack of sustainable work after 4 decades of equitable representation.
Taking the Security Councils, the United Kingdom has long called for the expansion of the Security Council in both the permanent and non-permanent categories. We support the creation of new permanent seats for India, Germany, Japan and Brazil, as well as permanent African representation on the Council. We also support an expansion of the non-permanent category of membership, taking the Security Council's total membership to somewhere in the mid-20s. With these changes, the Council would be more representative of the world today and, coupled with a renewed commitment to the UN Charter, it would be better able to respond decisively to threats to international peace and security. The United Kingdom has long called for the expansion of the Security Council in both the permanent and non-permanent categories. We support the creation of new permanent seats for India, Germany, Japan, and Brazil, as well as permanent.
So viewers, that's all we have for now. Keep watching Nagaland TV.
Nagaland TV, Sob Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on